All right, so here's a tutorial of how we use Bigscreen with the Thrive Pavilion. So the Bigscreen is a free app. You can install it from the App Store if you don't have it. And what I suggest is before you join your first Thrive Pavilion event hosted in Bigscreen, you go ahead and install it and also run through. I think there's a tutorial that you have to go through. It's a pretty quick tutorial to learn how to use the controls. And it also uses a different avatar than the avatar that you use in Horizon Worlds. So you may have to set that up as well. So rather than being pressed for time before you come to a Thrive event that's being hosted in Bigscreen, might as well go ahead and set that up beforehand. There's really two ways that Thrive uses Bigscreen to create a room or a theater inside of the application. Sometimes we create a thing that's called a public room that is a little bit easier for people to join. And then sometimes we use private rooms as well that requires another step or two to go through. But I'm going to show you both. So when you start Bigscreen, you're going to get presented with a menu that is going to look something like this. You can open and close this menu by pressing the left Oculus button. So if I do press it, it closes the menu. If I want to open again, I can press that button. If the menu doesn't open right, sometimes it may not open right. There's another way that you can open and close this menu, and that's by depressing the left joystick. And depressing means pressing straight down on the stick. So if you press down on the stick, it'll close the menu. Pressing the stick again, depressing the stick again will open the menu. So sometimes the menu doesn't work right with the Oculus button, so that's another way you can do it. So how do you join Thrive theaters and rooms? And the way that you do that is by using the social tab that's down here at the bottom. So click on social tab, and I'll show you the easy way first, which is a public room. So we'll usually create a public room, and the public room will be called Thrive Pavilion. It's easy to find. You just go up here under these Hangouts. You'll see this green button that says public room. So click on that, and you'll get a list of all the rooms that people have created that are public, that really anybody can join. Depending on the time of day and how popular Bigscreen is getting, there could be a lot of rooms, and they're not in any order. Like you see, like they're not in alphabetical order. So I think they're in order of the way that they're created. So you can scroll down and find the one that says Thrive Pavilion. Often, but not always, we'll try and create the room under productivity because usually there aren't a lot of productivity rooms. So it becomes a lot easier to find Thrive Pavilion. So either way, find the room that's called Thrive Pavilion, and then you just point at it, and then you click on it. So you just go like this, pull your trigger, and you'll be in the Thrive Pavilion room. All right, so that's the first way. That's the public room. Another way that we do it is sometimes we'll create private rooms if we don't want to be disturbed during our activities. And again, you go to the social tab, and the way that you join a private room is by using a room code. And a room code is basically a 6-character random code that you use to find a private room. We don't know these codes ahead of time. We can't create the codes until we get the room going. So we usually will know those codes right as the event is starting. And the way that we will communicate that is we will communicate that using the Thrive Pavilion chat in the Messenger app. So that's where you can find that code. So let's say you're attending an event. It's going to start at 8 p.m. Generally, whoever is hosting that event will get into Bigscreen a few minutes early, maybe at 7:50, etc., and post the room code in the chat. So once you have that code, come up here to this gray box that says your room code here and type in the 6 characters. I'm just making 6 characters up here. Well, you do that, type in your 6 characters, and then press join by room ID, and that should bring you into that room. So there's 2 ways that we Thrive uses Bigscreen. We either use a public room, and it's going to be called Thrive Pavilion, or we will use one of these private codes that you just type in, and then you can join us. So we look forward to seeing you soon at an event that we host inside of Bigscreen.